I don't know if I'm just seeing it more now because I'm following you on Instagram, Abby, but the blowback from this Taylor Swift album seems to be more extreme this time than I think I've seen in the past.
People are so disappointed in Taylor Swift. People are acting like she personally went to their house, slapped them in the face, and then walked out without an apology. That is the reaction I'm seeing from such a massive group of people online. I don't know if I would call them Swifties because I feel like at the very least you can get some enjoyment out of an album if you enjoy the artist, unless it's heinous, which it's not.
So I listened to the album over the weekend in its entirety. And, art is very subjective. I think for myself, as a person who is not a Swiftie, I was very underwhelmed. And I think it was because of the way it was presented that had my expectations so high that I'm like, ooh, this is going to be like a Reputation reincarnation. We're going to get a bunch of bangers and dance. It's going to just make you want to get up and dance and sing your heart out. And it was just kind of like, am I mad at it? No. But I was left a little underwhelmed.
Taylor is a victim of her own branding. And I think one of the biggest criticisms I've seen people say is that she built up this album, or their interpretation of her marketing was that this was going to be an album that fit this showgirl vibe. And it was going to be a mix of 1989 and Reputation, because those are the producers that she used for this album alone. It was just her, Max Martin, and Shellback, who are known for producing some of the biggest pop bangers in history, like Hit Me Baby One More Time, Maroon 5 songs. All these massive pop artists have used these producers. So expectations were really high. And, when you hear someone say these are going to be bangers on the New Heights podcast, you're kind of expecting every single song to really just hit. And I think in her mind, marketing it that way was going to be helpful, whereas I think it really just set expectations that weren't able to be met. When I think really for her, this album wasn't going to be some kind of showgirl-esque album that really drew back to different eras of showgirlisms or whatever. I think she just wanted to write songs while she was on the Eras tour and be like, this was my life while I was a showgirl. And I think when you look at it from that lens, then you can enjoy it for what it is. And so for me, I'm like, this was a good album. It's not my favorite album of all time, but there's certainly some enjoyable tracks. But there is one track that I truly feel so disappointed in, so much so that it actually, it does feel a little bit like a personal attack. So there is one slow song on this pop album, and it's a song called Eldest Daughter. And if you are an eldest daughter, you know that you take that title to heart. What it truly means to be an eldest daughter is to be the firstborn daughter in your family. So for me, I'm the eldest daughter, but I'm the youngest in my family. I am the oldest daughter in my family. I am the oldest daughter in my group of cousins. I hold that title with a lot of pride, because with that comes a lot of expectations and responsibility. And it's sort of this stereotype that eldest daughters become burnt out perfectionists because they had so many expectations on them growing up. And I thought, oh my God, Taylor Swift is like the ultimate eldest daughter. She is going to write such a heartbreaking, devastating track that is going to hit home and unite the eldest daughters everywhere. And let me read some of the lyrics from Eldest Daughter. Oh, wait, sorry. I got rid of it because I was Googling other lyrics.
And we have 3 eldest daughters in studio right now.
We have 3 eldest daughters in studio.
At first, when
4. Rebecca's one, too.
Yeah.
At first, when you were talking about this, I thought you said Elvis.
Elvis's
daughter. I'm like, what the hell? Where are we going with this thing?
This is not like a Lisa Marie Presley banger, but this is the chorus. But I'm not a bad bee, and this isn't savage. But I'm never going to let you down. I'm never going to leave you out. So many traitors, smooth operators. But I'm never going to break that vow. Never going to leave you now. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, is this a love song to Travis? Using colloquialisms from the internet, talking about not being a bad bee or a savage, like a Megan Thee Stallion song. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I've never been so devastated, because I'm sitting here thinking this is going to be like my favorite Taylor Swift track of all time. And that it's really going to encapsulate what it means to be the head of your proverbial household. And here it is, just her going, Trevi, I love you.
I thought you were reciting that Rick Astley song. Never gonna give you up.
But
never gonna let you down.
It feels like I got rickrolled by Taylor Swift, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, I would almost be less offended if you just decided to do an interpolation of whatever that song is, the Rick rolling song.
Could it be that song is a parallel? I'm getting deep here to, like, is it White Horse? I'm not a princess. This ain't a fairy tale. I'm not a bad bee.
If
I'm
it
not
is,
savage.
it's a bad one, Cassie.
I'm grasping at straws for you, girl.
Where a lot of people are grasping at straws listening to this album, but for the most part, they think the album is great. But this is the one that really disappointed me. I was like, you had an opportunity to really hit home with a large group of women who love to complain, and you missed it. Just to talk about your boyfriend again.
What did she miss? What did she, if you were writing the song and wanted this to be sung for the eldest daughters, what should have been in there?
Life is hard. People should thank me more.
I think you're nailing the problem because I love Taylor, and I also was expecting like a lot of Max Martin bops, like Kristen said, and this album's fine, and I'm not mad at her, which is where it gets weird. Like, why are people mad? But I think the problem is if you're not gonna get like cheesy shake it off bop Taylor, then you expect lyricist, almost like poet laureate Taylor. And when she doesn't deliver on either, but there's all this fuss around it, you're like, well, I feel like I just had a bait and switch, and I feel like that's where people are getting angsty. But guys, there's so much bigger stuff to worry about.
People are dying, Kim.
Yes.
I'm just at such a different generation that when I hear people going online complaining to Taylor or about Taylor and literally posting about it, I'm like, what else is going on in your life?
Nothing. That's why they're online.
Right, I guess so.
The Bert Show.